Hi, my name's Tom, and in this series of videos we're going to be looking at converting this outbuilding, which is outside our house in North Wales, into an annex. So as with all developments like this, it all starts with the planning process and the planning process of the local councils. So we have now got planning permission to do this. We live in a conservation area, so it was a relatively lengthy process. We have certain restrictions that we need to adhere to, but now we've got that planning in place and we've got building control on board. We've got a few ideas that we want to explore, and we've got plans, so we're all ready to go. All the paperwork's in place. So if you have a look at the building as it is now, as you can see, it's a very old building, built between 1850, 1900s, something around that time. It's a slate roof with natural stone. At the moment, we've got the right-hand section as my workshop, and then the left-hand section up to now we've just used to basically just store junk. So this is the outside of the building, and as you can see, relatively good slate roof. It was done a couple of years before we bought the house, and you can see it obviously needs quite a bit of repointing to be done on the outside, but we've been told by a number of builders and roofers that we're all good to go with regards to the roof. So if we have a look on the outside here, you can see that there was once a window there. You can see the lintel just up there and then down to the bottom of the window. So the plan is to remove that, reinstate the window, let some light into the property. So we do live in a very wet part of North Wales, and the back of this property sees a lot of weather, particularly rain and wind. So the water builds up in our back garden, and then obviously the level of the outbuilding itself is lower than the level of the grass. So what I've done is I've put a French drain in, excuse the junk, all the way along the back side of the property, down here, and then it runs into a gully here and then down to the front. So back round to the front, as you can see, relatively new guttering system, quite lucky, and with the newish roof means that we're not really going to have to do anything with regards to the structural aspect and the waterproofness of the roof itself. So let's go inside and have a look. So this is the space we're looking to transform. Over on this side, there's the partition between the annex area, and my workshop is through that. And obviously we're going to brick up the wall here in the middle, because we're not going to need a door there. And then above there, we're going to get rid of my bike and the ladder and whatever else, and build a mezzanine to the halfway point of the room, and then have a mezzanine up there with a bed and an area that people can sleep. Underneath the mezzanine, just here in this corner, you can see we've started to mark out a bathroom. And inside the bathroom, we're going to have a toilet, we're going to have a sink, and then we're going to have a shower. So it is a little bit of a small bathroom, but we've measured it. It's not that dissimilar to an ensuite that I put in a couple of years back. There is enough room there. Then in this corner here, we're going to have a little kitchenette area with a microwave, a kettle, and a couple of other bits there. So at the other end of the annex, as I said, from the outside, we're going to knock through. This here was once a window, and you can see there's a lintel at the top. So we're going to keep that lintel in place. We're going to remove these bricks and obviously tidy it up around the edges, and then we're going to reinstall the window that was there to allow plenty of light to come into the room. So up in the ceiling, we're planning on having 2 skylights on the rear side of the property. We've actually got planning to have 4, but we feel that just having 2 is going to be sufficient, particularly with the window and the door at the front. So we had a conversation with a roofer. That's a job that I'm not going to undertake myself, because I'm just not that confident enough to do it, and it's quite a specialist thing to do. So the big thing we had to consider here is the position of the purlin. So this big piece of wood that runs alongside there. So we have to go above the purlin or below the purlin. And we decided that we're going to go above the purlin, and the roofer's popped round and he says there's plenty of space there. The maximum width we can have is, obviously we don't want to take out more than one of these purlins. They don't want to have to cut more than they could do, but it's just unnecessary in a space of this size. So here is the plan for the conversion. As you can see, it is a tiny room, 4.4 by 3.2. It's just 14 square meters. So we've had to be quite clever with the design. We're going to have it as a vaulted ceiling, so it'll go right up to the apex throughout the room. The plan is to leave the exterior walls, and then we're going to create a shell of stud walls within that shell, and obviously insulate it to modern standards within that shell. So the bathroom in the bottom right corner with a shower, toilet and sink. On to the left of that, this grey block here, is the kitchenette, and as you can see it is pretty small, but we're only going to have a few items in there. And then at the front of the conversion, we've got these large French doors which the views from are absolutely amazing, so we're really excited to get those in. Then this is the eastern aspect, and there's going to be a large window, the window that's currently blocked up, so we're going to unblock that, so that's where that's going to go. And then on the southern aspect, so above the sofa here and above here, there's going to be two skylights. Roughly halfway in the bottom end here, there's going to be a whole mezzanine level that we're going to build. The idea being is that we can put a bed on there, but it will have a relatively low ceiling, so it'll be a little bit like a posh bunk bed is what we're thinking. There's going to be underfloor heating throughout. We're actually undecided as to what we're going to do with heating and hot water, whether we go for a gas central heating system, an oil central heating system, or an air pump. So watch this space. We're currently in the dark on that, so we're doing our research. So this is what it currently looks like, and with the help of ChatGPT, we've got this sort of mock-up with the French doors in. And then from this side, so this is the current view, and we can see where that window is there with the lintel at the top, and that is ChatGPT's version of it. The windows are not quite in the right place, it's sort of further up here, but that's the sort of size of that window. It's a little bit narrower, but again, views up to the mountains. Really excited about that as well. If you've enjoyed this video, please like it and make sure you subscribe to the channel to get notified when the next video goes live. Thanks for watching.